Identity was a huge one for me today, for this week. And I really want to talk to the mom today who loves their kids more than anything, but quietly feels that she lost herself somewhere along the way, right? So, because this entire week inside Mama Uprooted, we've talked about identity and how motherhood doesn't change your life, it uproots you. We are uprooted. Identity is a huge one that everyone struggles with at some point in their life, even outside of motherhood, So even if you don't have kids, this is a great topic for pretty much everyone as we grow and change and evolve throughout our years and our lives. One tip topic was people are saying my brain is not fully developed until I'm at least 25 years old. That is a great statistic, and it's something to look back on because I know that anything my age under 25 and under, I'm like, who was that girl? Through the Facebook posts, the reels, the carousels, the conversations, we talked about something nobody really prepares moms for. We prepare for pregnancy, right? We prepare for birth. We prepare the nursery, but nobody prepares you for the moment you realize you're not the same woman anymore. And honestly, that realization can feel absolutely scary. I know it is scary. You feel something inside of you that's missing. You feel this kind of, lost. You're lost. I feel this lost. I feel like I'm just reinventing the wheel over and over again. But I really this is something that I've been thinking about throughout the week, is to really dive in with an analogy to talk about identity and motherhood. I keep thinking about this analogy, and motherhood feels like peeling back an onion. So it's like something I was thinking about. I'm like an onion. Like when you peel back an onion, it's layer by layer, and things like start coming off of the onion, right? So we have old expectations, old priorities, old identities, old versions of ourselves. You're peeling off the onion. Again, like going back to that when we were 25 versus when we were a mother, things like that. When those layers fall off, sometimes we do panic, because I think that's the stage that I'm in. I have peeled off so many layers and I've let so many things go in my life over the last decade. I feel like I'm at the point where I'm like panicking. Like I need more friends. I need a new circle. I need a life. I need a hobby. I need all these things because of who I was prior to being a mother. But, we panic. But because suddenly we just don't recognize ourselves. So we're looking in the mirror. We're not recognizing ourselves after all of that. But what if we don't feel lost because we disappeared? Okay. What if we feel lost because the woman we were always meant to become finally showed up? So that's kind of where I'm feeling, is I really have been digging deep this week about my past. And I'm thinking like, all the people that I let hold me back. And something that I was thinking about is like friend groups. Like when you are in certain friend groups and you feel like you're out of place or you don't belong there, that's okay. That is okay. We have to try to join other groups and mom groups and try. And sometimes we may feel out of place. Like I've always felt, I kind of talk about a little bit, but I'm like, I always feel like I'm different than other people. I don't know. Like I just always feel awkward when I'm in group settings now, and I never used to be. And so, but really let that sit in. And now we have to relearn her. So relearning yourself can be very difficult. So I'm going to give you guys some journal prompts today. Please get a pen and paper. These journal prompts are very, very good to add in your morning routine, or whenever you are prompting your journals. Please, if you don't have a journal, get a journal. I'll send you a link if you need some journal ideas. But this is something really good because we can reflect back on who we used to be. We can, when you write it down, it helps you evolve, it helps you change. And I feel like that has really elevated me as a mom, is writing things down, because our brain goes 1,000 miles a minute, right? So who was I before motherhood? And these are deep questions. Remember, I like to dig deep. So who was I before motherhood, and what parts of her still live inside of me? So that's really what you want to think about, is like, what parts of her still live inside of me that are maybe the good things, like, because there's things that I'm seeing that I used to be like when I was a child. Like we're starting to really grab these things that we loved about ourselves, and we're really finding our true self, right? And you miss those parts of you. So we're really digging deep. But one of the hardest parts of this identity shift, and kind of was talking about friend circles, is something we talked about a lot this week, is friendships are changing. You may notice people drift. You conversations are feeling different. Like I mentioned, you feel lonely in rooms you used to belong in. But what if your circle isn't shrinking, right? So what if it's refining? So stop thinking in your head, like I hear moms say all the time, my circle's getting smaller. It's okay. That is, again, like give yourself grace when it comes to that. What if it's refining? What if the women entering your life now are actually the ones meant to walk beside this version of you? Okay. So very, very good. I'm really listening to that. Again, it's all about mindset, mind shift, changing how we say things. Like instead of, this week I was really like deep digging into the identity. Like I have no friends and I don't have a world. Like, I don't know why. I just was putting these negative thoughts in my brain. But instead, these are the questions I sat down with where I'm like, what if it's refining? What if I'm going to be finding the most beautiful people in the world that are going to actually join me, during the season? So again, like every season, you're going to have friendship changes. You're going to find new people. And they may not be long life friends. They might be. It's just that's the hard part with women because we're social. We want to friend our people. We want to have our group forever. And social media, again, going back to that, it's always makes us feel like lost a little bit. But journal prompt number 2 today, who makes you feel safe being fully myself right now? And also, where do I feel like I have to shrink just to belong? Where do I feel like I have to shrink just to belong? So those are 2 questions. Who makes me feel safe being fully myself right now? So you write it down and really think on it. I mean, chat with your closest friends too about these questions. These are great questions to have conversations in your friend group. Sometimes we spend, so now we're going to go into like the crowd analogy. I have these analogies today because these are just things that were like literally popping in my head. And I'm like, you know what? We need to talk about that today. So sometimes we spend so much energy trying to fit into crowds where we never truly felt comfortable. And this is what I thought in my head. This is literally just what did not pull this from any book or anything, but I'm like being a mouse surrounded by cats. So sometimes I don't know why, but I feel like I'm a mouse surrounded by cats when I'm in these large groups. You're trying so hard to belong, but something just feels off. And maybe the problem isn't you. Maybe the problem, it's not you. It's not because you're a mouse. It's not because there's cats all around. And maybe you showed up to the wrong room, right? You went through the mouse door and all of a sudden ended up the cat door. Like that's okay, right? So the wrong room, the wrong mom group, the wrong environment. And you really need to dig deep when you're finding new groups because this is something that you want to make sure you feel good and you can be yourself. So we also talk in Mama Uprooted about finding our community and finding that no judgment zone. So if you don't feel good in where you're at, then you need to find a new group, right? And it's okay. It's going to be tough, but you need to truly be yourself. And I feel like this is why I'm like showing up raw and real because it's like, listen, you guys, show up, be yourself. If you don't feel like yourself, then you're in the wrong group. So journal prompt, am I trying to fit in somewhere that doesn't align with who I'm becoming? So really dive deep into that. So look at your surroundings. Who are your friends? Who are your groups? Am I trying to fit somewhere that doesn't align with who I am becoming? Okay. And that's okay. Again, I'm going to keep saying that. It's okay. I'm giving you guys grace today. So we go into the permission moment. So many moms start fading themselves. Me, quieting parts of who they are just to fit in or gentle, but you were never meant to shrink yourself to belong. And I feel like that's that awkwardness, it's like, I don't want to really say shrink, but sometimes we are shrinking ourselves. So we're trying to become somebody else to try to feel like we fit in this new group. If you don't feel like you fit, find another room, keep searching, keep showing up and stop trying to fit in. I've had seasons where friendships change, where I felt lonely, where I questioned where I belong. But looking back now, those seasons weren't rejection. They were redirection. Okay. Those seasons weren't rejection. Those seasons were redirection. So really make sure it's okay. Like we're all becoming, right? Everything's changing. Journal prompt. What parts of myself am I rediscovering in this season of motherhood? And that's a deep one, right? So what parts of myself am I rediscovering in this season of motherhood? Normalize the process. Growth feels uncomfortable. If you are not uncomfortable, then let's get you uncomfortable. Because that's a huge thing. When I finally started pushing myself to becoming uncomfortable, things were changing inside me and the confidence and the friend groups and things like that. But Discomfort usually it usually means you're becoming. So if you feel uncomfortable, that's a good thing. You're becoming. And then ask yourself, has motherhood changed your friendships? Yes or no? I'm going to say yes. Comment below. Has motherhood changed your friendships? I want to know. Yes or no? I mean, I feel like there should be so many yeses in this comment section because I hear parents and mothers telling me this every single day. Even dads are saying this. So this is exactly why Mama Uprooted exists, ladies and gents, who's ever listening, because we're all uprooted, just trying to find our way. And I always am going to say this, no way is wrong, because if every plant grows differently, think of yourself like a plant. Okay. A beet is not going to grow the same way as my flower. A watermelon isn't going to grow the same way as my potato or whatever. I'm just throwing things out there, but think about that. Really think about that. I want you to reflect on this today and over the weekend as we really dig deep into these journal prompts. And if you need them, comment journal prompts. I'll send all the journal prompts your way that I talked about today. So if you missed any of them, just comment journal prompts. But reflect on this weekend, ladies and gents. Who am I becoming? And what would happen if I stopped trying to fit in and fully showed up as her? Okay. I love that one. It's really good to know. If this conversation spoke to you today, please comment identity and I will send you over this week's guide. If you missed it, the root guide, it is free. I do this for free to support you mamas out there, to help you reconnect with yourself again, and share this with a mom who might feel like she doesn't belong anywhere right now, because I'm here to support you. And maybe you become my new best friend or in my new circle. You're not lost. You're becoming, and you got this, mama. Keep going. Keep doing you. But that's it for today. If you guys need anything at all, or if you have any topics that you would love for me to dive into, we do weekly themes every single week. And I'm going to keep going and keep trying to get the algorithm to like me because it doesn't at this moment, but that's okay. Every like, every share that you guys do for me really helps me elevate and reach out to mamas that are really needing help out there, because we all need to support each other and build our new communities. Everyone have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.